One of television's most iconic women is gone, but few know the battles she fought off-screen, or how quietly she slipped away from the world she once lit up. Loretta Swit, the unforgettable Hot Lips Houlihan from MASH, passed away at 87 in her New York home. To fans, she was bold, brash, and unforgettable. But behind the cameras, her life was quieter and far more complex than anyone realized. When MASH first aired in 1972, few expected it to become one of the most enduring shows in television history, and even fewer expected Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan to evolve into the heart of the series. Loretta Swit's portrayal started as comedic, a foil to the chaos around her, but soon transformed into something much deeper. She gave Margaret layers, vulnerability, strength, feminism, at a time when women were often used as background props on screen. Loretta's performance didn't just earn laughs, it earned respect. Over 11 seasons, she became one of the most recognizable women on TV, and a cultural symbol of empowered femininity in uniform. Unlike many stars of her era, Loretta never embraced the glitz of Hollywood. No wild parties, no gossip headlines, no scandalous tell-alls. She was, in her own words, about the work, not the noise. Reporters who interviewed her often left surprised by how little she revealed. She rarely spoke about personal matters. Her boundaries were firm, and her focus was laser sharp. Acting, activism, and art. It's that restraint, that dignity, that made her both admired and enigmatic. Loretta Swit won 2 Emmys for her work on MASH, but many felt she deserved more. She was often overshadowed by her male co-stars, despite carrying emotional storylines and commanding screen time. Still, she never seemed bitter. "I never think beyond the nomination," she once said. That humility, that grounded energy, it made her beloved on set and by fans around the world. Her dedication was unmatched. Directors and co-stars praised her for showing up early, knowing every line and lifting everyone around her. Loretta died quietly at home in New York. There was no dramatic send-off, no viral headline, just a short note from her publicist confirming she had passed peacefully, seemingly of natural causes. And for many fans, that silence was jarring. She had been such a loud, vital force on screen, and yet her final moments were surrounded by solitude. There was no family statement, no trending topic, just stillness. It left people wondering, why did one of TV's most beloved women vanish so quietly? Her final acting role came in 2019, a faith-based film titled Play the Flute. It didn't make headlines, but it meant something to her. In the movie, she played a mentor, a guiding light to those searching for purpose. Fitting, considering that's how many young actors described her in real life. Now, looking back, fans believe the performance was Loretta's quiet farewell. A gentle wave goodbye from a woman who had spent decades commanding attention, only to end her career with grace and softness. Loretta was always clear about one thing. She loved actors. Not the red carpets, not the scandals, the craft, the people. Even after MASH ended, she worked tirelessly for artists' rights. She championed causes that supported struggling performers, especially women. She donated her time, her energy, and her voice, not for PR, but because she believed in fairness. While others chased magazine covers, Loretta fought to make sure behind-the-scenes workers got fair treatment. She was a fighter, just not the kind that needed to be seen doing it. Most people don't realize MASH is still airing every single day, somewhere in the world. Decades after its finale, it remains a fixture in syndication, and Loretta is right there, front and center. Her face, her voice, her strength, still resonating, but her legacy goes beyond reruns. She became a devoted humanitarian, supporting animal rights, the environment, and education. She wasn't just hot lips. She was a woman of deep convictions who chose a path of impact over spotlight. Away from the cameras, Loretta made decisions that most celebrities wouldn't. She quietly declined roles that didn't align with her values, turning down big checks for the sake of her principles. She also helped fund acting scholarships for underserved youth. anonymously. She never talked about it, she didn't need the credit. And even as her public appearances became rare, she kept writing letters to fans. Some reported receiving handwritten notes from her as recently as 2024. This was the side of Loretta most never saw. Generous, deeply reflective, and unshakably kind. Fame, even the wholesome kind, comes with a cost. Loretta dealt with the pressure of being a public figure during a time when women were scrutinized far more than celebrated. Friends say she struggled with anxiety throughout her career, often feeling boxed in by her hot lips persona. To cope, she turned to quieter forms of expression: painting, poetry, meditation. These were her escapes, the places she could breathe when the spotlight became too much. And though she rarely spoke about it, those close to her knew how heavy the weight of stardom had become. When news broke of Loretta's death, fans expected the entertainment world to erupt in tribute, but the response was muted. No viral retrospectives, no primetime specials, no major awards shows dedicating segments in her honor. It sparked frustration. Why was one of TV's greatest supporting women so overlooked in the end? The answer may be as uncomfortable as it is honest. Loretta didn't chase fame. She didn't build headlines. And in an industry obsessed with noise, her quiet dignity may have made her invisible to the loudest parts of Hollywood. But to those who loved her, truly loved her work, her spirit, her fight, the silence was deafening. Loretta's portrayal of Major Houlihan wasn't just acting. It created a genuine connection with real-life military personnel. She received countless letters from veterans who felt seen through her role. In return, Loretta became a vocal supporter of U.S. troops, visiting bases and participating in veteran events long after MASH ended. She often said the honor of playing a soldier was one of the proudest parts of her career, and she never stopped paying it forward. While Loretta may not have been labeled a trailblazer during her prime, her influence quietly paved the way for strong female leads in television. Writers and producers in later decades cited her portrayal of a multidimensional, flawed yet powerful woman as a game changer. Actors from shows like Grey's Anatomy and The West Wing have acknowledged the influence of Hot Lips Houlihan on how women in power were written. Loretta didn't need the spotlight to make history. She shaped it from behind the curtain. Loretta Swit's life wasn't a constant headline, but it was a constant force. She broke ground without breaking rules. She earned fame without ever chasing it. She built a legacy in silence. And when she left this world, she did it her way. Quietly, gracefully, and on her own terms. But maybe that's the greatest lesson she gave us. That true impact isn't always loud. Sometimes it's found in the stories that never make the news, in the kindness no one sees, in the performances we'll never forget. So the next time you catch an old episode of MASH, don't just see hot lips. See the woman behind the role who gave it everything she had and asked for nothing in return. And remember, just because Hollywood moved on doesn't mean we have to. Loretta Swit isn't gone. She's just eternal now.